You're listening to episode 45 of the Let's Go podcast. On this show, we talk Cobra Kai, have a tasty beer, talk about Deadpool and Infinity War and Solo and everything else.
Let's go, 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 go.
Jimmy said he could handle this. Oh, he's from Los Angeles.
This is episode 45 of the Let's Go podcast. My name is Justin.
My name's Kelly, and Justin's so loud he's clipping.
I'm clipping, sorry.
It's okay. He's excited.
I'm very excited because we haven't been able to do this since freaking February, man.
We haven't, and the fact that we're doing it right now at 10 o'clock at night in my vehicle just speaks volumes as to how badly we really wanted to do it.
We were like, we gotta do this.
We gotta do it. It's gotta happen.
The cycle needs to recycle. So, anyways, to just kick the show right off, we're gonna start it off with a tasty beverage.
Beers, all kinds of beers. Black, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese beers. Glug, 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 glug.
Well, today, our selection is the Stone Brewing I'm Peach double IPA brewed with peach. I would assume.
I'm Peach, double IPA.
At first, I thought it said impeach, and I was like,
well, that's what I thought. I thought it was impeach as well.
I thought they were getting political already.
I think they kind of are, though, maybe.
Maybe it was subliminal. Subliminal.
So it's what a lot of us are thinking.
Yeah.
Is what they're saying. So.
And FYI, when I said we're in my car, we're not going anywhere.
We're not driving.
Literally sitting in my car.
It's a soundproofed area away from the noises of life.
And sleeping children.
So, yeah, just two guys hanging out in a car.
So here we go.
All right, here we go.
Ooh, look at that. Cheers. Hot damn, that's tasty.
That's really good.
That's nice and refreshing, and the peach, it's not like super fruity.
Yeah.
But it complements the bitterness of the hops with a little bit of sweet. It's really tasty.
It's got a nice little aftertaste too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like nice and soft. It's nice for a double IPA could be heavy for summer, but the peach is nice, man.
Yeah,
It's
definitely sitting on my tongue. It tastes like I ate a peach instead of drank a beer, which is great.
It's really good. Like the second sip, even better. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is getting progressively better, so we're good.
it's getting better. Beer gets better. Yeah. Yeah, this is really good, man. Like, it's funny. I had a nectarine today.
Ooh.
And I'm getting prepared for like summer fruit and stuff like that. Had some strawberries last night, and this is the perfect. This right here makes up for the terrible beers that I had access to earlier today. So if anyone's ever been to Bass Pro Shop,
well, in theory, we have access to terrible beers whenever we want.
That's
because
true.
We could go to any store and say like, "Hey, give me a
what do you got?
Budweiser."
Yeah. Anyways, today, like, I don't know if you've ever been to Bass Pro Shop.
I have not been to Bass Pro Shop.
I'm not like your typical Bass Pro Shop patron, but I went there because we're looking for a tent. Anyway, side story, they have a restaurant there as well. And dude, they have alligator tacos, and I really wanted to try one, but I didn't want to just go all in on an alligator taco. That's a whole other thing. But the list of drinks is like, oh, ask for our local breweries. And I'm like, oh, maybe they're going to have like something to surprise me that'll be tasty, because their like on menu items is like Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light, like
your
Pabst
typical
Light.
Domestics.
Yeah, and it was just like, well, it kind of fits like the no judgment calls, but like I feel like Coors Light is the national beer of like Bass Pro Shop. Like
they're sponsored.
Yeah, not
Bass
a lot
Pro
of teeth there.
sponsored by Coors Light.
Anyways, yeah, this is good. This is what I should have had earlier today. But you know what? I'm glad I'm having it with you, man.
I'm glad to be having it with you too,
This
buddy.
is good. What do you want to rate this, man?
You know what? I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna be like the typical Kelly and say let's go and a half. But I can only imagine this in my head now that I'm tasting this deliciousness, and this is from the bottle. I'm imagining going down to Stone Brewery in Escondido, ordering some food, sitting out on the patio with some good friends, and drinking this off the tap.
Yeah.
And I think by that rate, it would get to gotta go. But I mean, just because it's just, I'm enjoying it out of bottle, not to say that it means anything at all.
Yeah.
It's a good solid let's go and a half. Like if you see this, just buy the tall boy, you know, they have the 12 or the 6 packs, which are, gosh, man, they were asking like $16 at Stater Brothers. I was like, what? So I just got the little tall bottle for
Yeah.
I think 6 or 7.
It's good enough for us to split.
Yeah, you give us each almost a pint, so we're good.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a let's go. It's super tasty. If you want to find out more about this tasty beer, go to stonebrewing.com/impeach. Impeach.
I'm peach.
Basically, it's impeach. I mean, the
Right.
the narrative on the back of the bottle is very tongue-in-cheek with impeaching and having a party. So I like this. It's very good. And I'm going to finish it as we continue on with this show. So right now, we're going to talk about... I don't know, like, what your thoughts were on about, like, YouTube Red. I kept seeing it and like, man, I don't want to pay for YouTube. YouTube is not something I want to pay for. Just videos I want to watch whenever I get a chance. You know, you want to like watch some viral videos.
I didn't imagine when I saw that they would be producing original content. I mean, I kind of had the impression because actually one of the first movies that they put up was actually the soundtrack was done by one of our very, very
Chris
close
talked about
friends.
that.
Yeah. Chris Qualls, we had him on the show. And he and Eric Straube, his writing partner, had done a vast majority of, I think it was Dance Camp.
Dance Camp,
They did
yeah.
the entire thing.
Yeah.
So we knew there was original content, but I wasn't expecting Cobra Kai.
When this got announced, I was like, okay, I mean, is it going to be good? Not that YouTube can't make good stuff. I just didn't know what their budgets were. And I mean, obviously
Right.
it's part of Google, so.
Well, when you told me, it was funny. I had no suspicion that it was YouTube. It took me forever. I was like looking on Hulu. I'm looking on Netflix. I'm like, okay, Justin tells me I got to watch Cobra Kai, but I don't see this. Where the heck is it? And so I finally landed on YouTube, and I was like, it's like YouTube Red. And I was like, oh man, do I got to sign up for this stuff? And then I did, because they gave you a free trial.
Yeah, you get the first 2 episodes free, that's what suckered me in, man.
But I signed up for something that was like the first month free or first 10 days.
Oh no,
or
you
something.
get the first 2 episodes free on YouTube, so you don't have to sign up for Red at all.
Okay.
And then after I watched those, I was like, well, I want to finish this up.
Right.
And so I just signed up for the month free, and I have it on my calendar to cancel.
Right.
I mean, there was no other YouTube Red content that I'm like trying to get.
Right. Yeah, there's nothing I'm completely stoked on as of right now.
But
Cobra Kai,
yeah,
Woo!
it got me to like potentially spend $9 on it, because sometimes you forget.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh dang it, I'm the king of like forgetting to cancel.
They lured me in, and honestly, if I do get charged $9, I really don't mind, because this show is awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to watch it again before I get to the end of my cycle. But so it's like 30 years after Karate Kid, you just kind of roll up with Johnny. He kind of starts as his story, and it's completely flipped between him and Daniel Larusso, their life. Where now Daniel is living in
He's Mr. King Car Salesman.
King Car Salesman. He's living in Encino. Now Johnny's living in Reseda. And so my favorite part of the first episode, though, is he's hanging out at his little apartment place, and he runs into that kid, and he's like, he says kind of like this derogatory statement to him, and he's like, no, man, I'm from Riverside. Try to laugh. A little shout out to one of the top 8 coolest cities in the world. So
We are number 8, right?
we are number 8, yeah. So it was cool seeing everybody back. I would say Ralph Macchio, I feel like I don't know if he got some work done or whatever. Like, he always had this like young look to him.
Well, I don't think
Looks
either
weird.
of them aged well, but we also have to realize that was literally 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So
No, I think they both look fine. Like William Zabka, he's Johnny, dude. It was really weird. It was like seeing people that you haven't seen for 30 years and seeing them again, and
you're
it
like,
picks
that's
right
expected.
up.
That's how I expected you to look.
Yeah, but I think it had a little more humor to it, which I think it needs it. It wasn't in a sense where it was kind of like the Dukes of Hazzard movies and stuff they've made. Like, we're like, let's just make a funny version of a show. Like, it was funny in the sense that these are things that can really happen. Like, the drama was still there, but the humor was just like kind of like revisiting these guys and like seeing how things have flipped. That's where the comedy came from. So it wasn't like forced like Ghostbusters with the girls.
Yeah, there was
Comedy.
a
It was like-
couple cheeseball moments where I was like, oh man, oh man, the spoiler alerts. We're gonna have to do.
Yeah, we're gonna spoil this show.
Spoiler alerts for sure. So if you haven't watched it, stop the episode, get on Cobra Kai, and or just listen to it, and then you'll know what we're talking about when we get to the point. But Like the part at the end during the tournament where he claps his hands and he starts.
Oh yeah, he did
together,
that. Yeah,
and then he's like medic.
yeah. Well, I was kind of
like that was like the cheesy kind of humor.
Yeah, I was hoping that he was gonna bust out on Miyagi though. That would have been kind of cool. Like, it totally mirrored everything.
It would have, but I think that was a good move to not do it. Just to kind of leave Mr. Miyagi in the master position, not like I learned every single thing I could from you. It's like that two-legged kick that he was talking about. He only said he only did it once, and it wasn't like in any kind of tournament.
Oh, dude, I love when Miguel busted it out right in the beginning of the tournament. I was like, oh dang, he just straight like punked him. So that was kind of cool, like out the gate. And so so I like all the characters, the new characters they brought in. Like, I like this kid Miguel. I like the kind of flip with Johnny and Miguel, like. Kind of like,
AKA Rhea.
Rhea? Wait, who's Rhea? Wait.
No, the kid, the kid, the student, Miguel.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember how the Asian kid kept calling him Rhea?
Sorry, I was like, wait,
because he was buying Imodium or something.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So you kind of know where the story's going. Like, there's going to be like this lesson be learned with Johnny and whatever. But I actually really like the kind of the ethos behind the new Cobra Kai like dojo, where he's getting all these like kind of like misfit kids and he's training them, but he's also saying, you guys are a bunch of punks, dude. You guys need to toughen up. Because if there was a message to the show, it was like, yeah, we need to like obviously be better and treat people better. But there was also this like, you also need to like not just be punks and like overtly like, I don't know.
Don't go look for a fight, but stand up for yourself.
Stand up for yourself, because there was a lot of, well, you can't do this. It was like, no, sometimes a guy needs to get punched in the nose.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to punch a guy in the nose. And that's kind of where Johnny was like, why are you guys all a bunch of like little pussies?
Yeah.
That was like kind of his like thought. I was like, what is going on with you guys? So, that's gonna backfire on some people. I think there's a way to guide kids and younger minds into like, teach them how to respect yourself, respect others, but be able to defend yourself. But I think he gets there at the end.
Yeah.
Once and Miguel kind of jumped, dude. Like between the last couple episodes, he became way more intense. You're like. He went from this like kind of shy kid to completely like being the a-hole. It's like, oh, come on, man.
Well, see, was he an a-hole though? Because you get that foreshadowing. It's like I saw something a long time ago. I can't remember what it was. It was something actually funny enough on YouTube explaining how Johnny was the good guy in the original Karate Kid.
Yeah.
And they actually played that angle.
Yeah.
For this, which was funny, and so I feel like they played that angle, but then they also flipped it, and Miguel, I think his name is, the student, kind of became Ralph Macchio almost. Like he's the bad guy, like they made the Karate Kid seem like the bad guy.
I feel like Miguel had a lot more ego though, like this. It was true though. Like when they did the flashback, when you're like watching him like tell the story, it's like, dude, this kid like rolled up on me like during the summer, and then all of a sudden like months later, because you're right, it's at the Halloween thing.
Stole my girl and sucker punches me and dumps water on me. And
you're like, he is kind of.
You're like, wow, that's totally funny because he totally was a butthole.
He was a butthole. Daniel Larusso's a butthole. There you go, new T-shirt right there. Daniel Larusso's a butthole. But I feel like in this, like at least at the end of Karate Kid, like. There is kind of a piece between Daniel and Johnny, that part where they kind of like do that like that little, I don't know, hand hug type of deal. Like,
oh yeah,
got it, Johnny, yeah, Daddy.
He's like, you did it.
Yeah, you did it.
Good job.
And then the beginning of part 2 is where he freaking like gets handled by what's his name? The guy who's
John Kreese.
Yeah, John Kreese. Where
I don't know his
I can't think
actor
of his
the actor name, but. Yeah, that's funny how like the end. Spoiler alert! At the very end, how he shows up.
Yeah,
I'm wondering how that's going to play out for season 2.
I don't know. Part of me was like, wasn't that guy dead? But no, he's still a 70-year-old dude. Like,
I swear they were playing the angle that he was dead.
Yeah,
I swore that happened in there. So I'm a little
Martin
confused.
goes back, dude. He's like, hey, I need some work. I'd like to be on this YouTube show. I wonder if they're gonna get what's her face? Man, who's the chick? Who was
Elizabeth Shue?
Elizabeth Shue, yeah. I wonder if they'll get her back. And now she's like, I don't want to be on this YouTube show. And it's like, oh, dang, maybe I'll get on this YouTube show. Maybe there's some YouTube money you can throw at me.
Well, yeah, see, I don't know. I haven't heard, there hasn't been like a buzz so much about it. But, I mean, at least well, yeah, about the show.
Dude, no, dude. On Twitter, it's like,
I don't know. I don't go on social network all that much anymore.
No, it's huge. Season 2's coming.
Okay.
So they're making a season 2, and they're just pushing it all the time because I keep seeing things in my feed now that I like it and whatever. Like, there was this thing, dude. Come on. First off, Twitter, or not Twitter, but like Cobra Kai Twitter. You guys got to get a better marketing team because they straight up said,
Dang.
Cobra Kai is sweeping the nation, and I'm like, how are you not going to say sweeping the leg of the nation? Like
Right.
that is right there for you. It's part of like your
Spoon fed. That
yeah.
was
Like why didn't you guys jump on that? But yeah, Cobra Kai, man. I think it's probably one of my favorite shows that I've watched in a while. I haven't really been watching newer shows. My wife's been watching The Office again, which means I've been watching The Office again.
Right.
And so I'm desperately wanting to watch a new show.
You're gonna want to punch me, and our audience will probably want to punch me.
Let's see.
I've watched a couple episodes of The Office.
Oh, what?
But I've never like religiously finished any kind of season, or I barely know the characters.
Wow.
So
That's a whole other show, dude.
I know. There's something for
We
me
need to do
do
a whole segment called Kelly Watches.
Yeah.
We finally got you to watch.
I don't know why I'm
Training
always
Day.
the one behind on stuff. Like on training day on The Office. Like, what is my deal? I don't know.
Dude, The
I'm
Office
sorry,
is
I
good
apologize.
until about like season 7, and it gets a little like, all right, but it's still pretty funny.
It's not like Lost where you get to season 4 and you're like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, come on.
Yeah.
The smoke monster again. What the heck?
Yeah. So okay, so back to Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Did anything else stick out to you like that? You're like, oh man, I love that, or
I loved it in general. I loved the angles they played. Like, the thing with Johnny's kid.
I could have done it without him.
Yeah, I don't know why his kid just started annoying me after a while.
Robbie, I didn't like him. It was like he was total butthole.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I'm gonna get back at my dad. Then like, oh, this guy.
Well, then
that
that plays into the angle though. If
does.
Ralph Macchio was the butthole, then the son's now the butthole because you're like, come on, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's true. I was kind of thinking, is Karate Kid gonna train his daughter, and then she's gonna have to fight a dude because they're trying to be like, dude's gonna fight girls.
Next season, I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, next
without
season.
Without question.
Yeah. So I liked Hawk was like actually one of my favorites. That kid, dude,
he
was
was
cool, man.
hilarious.
He just kind of like he's the one who took the abuse, like the
Lip.
verbal abuse.
Lip, as they call it.
Yeah,
What's he
and
called?
then came back, and I was like, all right, there you go, like embrace, and then but he became he kind of became kind of a butthole too.
Yeah, he was a little much, but
I mean, he was a fun character, and then I liked Aisha. Like, I like, this girl. She's like, I'm gonna handle some business. I like when she started punching Miguel in the beginning. That was cool. Like, and I liked all these kids. I already mentioned it, but I liked all these kids coming back. Like, all right, we're gonna go to this dojo, and we're gonna learn, and we're gonna be able to defend ourselves.
The super downtrodden, the super picked on, like really just kind of decided to fight back, which is great.
I just like that. Like, you have a week of karate, and all of a sudden you're like kicking everybody's butt at school. Like, oh, I learned a few things, and he just like handled everybody in the cafeteria.
Yeah, I think the timeline was a little too condensed for the amount of skill that they learned. That was my only thing that wasn't like too based in reality, but they didn't give any kind of reference as far as like how much time has passed between all of these things because I mean, if you watch the show back to back and binge it like I did, it seems like, okay, so you all of a sudden like gained all this confidence and all this knowledge of karate in like a week.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Because the kid, he's there. It feels like he's there a couple times, and then he kind of like takes everybody out, gets some confidence, tries to like win over the girl. Don't say no. I like that. He's like, well, don't. No doesn't mean no. He's like, yeah. Whenever they got confused, and he's like, well, actually, it means no in certain situations. Yeah. The one thing I would say when there's that first confrontation with the high school kids and Johnny, I feel like they could have sped up some of the editing there because it did feel very like he was doing the moves, but it was very slow. It wasn't very.
It felt like
I feel like I was play fighting.
It felt
with
like
kids.
Iron Fist episode 1 or 2. You're like, come on, bro, come on, guys.
Oh, no.
Just speed up the edits. You have the power to do it in Final Cut, or Avid or whatever,
or just like. Even quicker cuts would have made it feel a little more like intense. It just kind of felt like okay, like
it's like one of those scenes. Like okay, I'm waiting.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Okay, there you go. Throw the kick.
throw the kick. All right. So, anyways, Cobra Kai. So what do you?
I'm gonna say let's go.
Yeah.
Only because of the timeline funkiness that I just mentioned, and And like he said, some of the fighting could have been, I guess, cut quicker or just kind of given it based in reality a little more. It's like they took actors and taught them karate.
Yeah.
Instead of like, whoa, these kids actually know karate.
Yeah.
Except for the very end, that girl, like when she, Daniel LaRusso's daughter, when she did that little move in the end. I mean, I'm sure that was like probably a stunt person. Yeah. But it seemed like it was legit her. So I was like, oh, that was cool. That was good.
She was like, oh, a move like that though, you got to keep practicing.
Yeah.
So like, hopefully like Samantha LaRusso is practicing unbeknownst to her dad. And then she's going to go join Cobra Kai in season 2. That's what I think is going to happen.
Oh, really?
And I don't know. Don't you think that's what's going to happen?
No, man, because she thought that Miguel kid was a butthole by the end.
So you think she's going to fight Miguel?
I don't know. Maybe.
Or is she going to fight Aisha?
Ooh.
Aisha. Remember that song?
So bad.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a let's go for sure. I love kind of all the 80s stuff that they kind of brought back. I mean, it made me feel comfy. I love all like the butt rock that Johnny listens to. It was like, of course,
he's
like,
still doing it.
Still doing it. He's still like living his life. I love how he was like, why don't you listen to some Guns N' Roses?
Yeah. It's like, all right. Let me check this out.
Yeah. So I like all that. I like kind of the mean girl situation that's going on at school. I like when girl cliques like get what's given to them.
Get served.
Watch out, girl cliques. Karate Kid's coming. And
Hawk came in for the swoop.
Dude, Hawk had the swoop, dude. Dude, that's what a hawk does. A hawk swoops down, dude. He needs to have his own. I want the Hawk show. There was one last thing I was gonna say. Fudge.
I made Justin lose his
made me lose my train of thought where I was going. But I wonder if they're gonna like touch upon the last Karate Kid, which was the one with Hilary Swank. Is she a part of that story? Because she existed with Mr. Miyagi. And then are they going to talk about freaking Jaden Smith?
Oh, Lord.
Karate Kid. Are we going to touch upon that? I hope they touch upon it in a sense like, there has been no other Karate Kids. Like, it was only Daniel LaRusso. Like, they don't talk about, like, Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan. That's all. It would be kind of funny if they kind of, like, made a self-referential, like spot there. So anyways, yeah, it's a let's go for me. I was super into it. So.
I will agree. Right. If you got YouTube or if you got some time on your hands and want to sign up for the free trial and try and cancel, do the YouTube Red, do the Cobra Kai. Sorry, this beer is making me burp.
Peaches.
This burp is making me beer.
Yeah, the page bear. Yeah, Cobra Kai. Go get it. Get it on that YouTube Red. So all right. Man.
Shifting focus to the film? Are we shifting to film?
We're shifting, dude. So there's been a lot of movies that have come out since we last spoke to you. It was Black Panther, which
Did we talk on Black Panther?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah, we did. Okay,
that was
the very last one.
Yeah.
And now it's out on video. Jeez, come on.
And it's still in theaters, so you can watch it in theaters if you want.
Dang.
You can watch it on video. You can watch it.
Dang.
You could have got it today. It was on sale for $5.99
so we have
on iTunes.
What?
Yeah, you can probably still jump on it. Probably till midnight. Yeah, I bet you it's until midnight. I saw it.
Even though I have a copy of it, I might want a digital. Anyways.
So here's I was kind of wanting to do like a speed date real quick because we're going to talk about Deadpool
3 films.
And we're going to talk about...
We didn't talk about Infinity War
Oh my gosh,
either.
we're going to talk about Infinity War, we're going to talk about Deadpool 2, and we're going to talk about Solo.
Okay.
We're going to do the speed round. But first, did you see Ready Player One?
No.
It was all right. I just give it a go.
Okay.
There we go. Did you see Game Night?
No.
That was a let's go. That was really good.
I assumed just from the people in it and the preview I saw, I was like, that's gonna be funny.
It was actually really good. Okay, Quiet Place.
No, and I've heard that's like a gotta go. Like,
dude, that movie's a gotta go. Like, you should go see it.
Yeah, I know. I've really
trying to do hot takes.
I really wanted to see Quiet Place in the theaters because I've heard you like really have to pay attention to the sound design because of like
it's definitely a movie you don't eat popcorn at, like, because you don't want to be making crunch noises. But like, dang it, it was. I didn't know. I didn't watch a single trailer for that movie, so I was definitely like, oh, what's this all about? Like, what's this movie about? I didn't know. I just heard it's kind of scary, but it's not like a like horror. It's more of a thriller. I was like, okay, cool, I can get into that. So, what about Blockers? Did you see Blockers?
I did see Blockers.
What'd you think about Blockers?
I thought it was funny.
Yeah,
I would say between a go and a let's go, just because It depends on your style of humor, and I just John Cena doing stuff is hilarious to me. I don't know.
I love
why.
John Cena, dude. He was part of the reason why I wanted to go. I was like, all right, John Cena.
And then I don't know why I loved Hannibal Buress in that. He was just like this like total dad life like.
See, I like him too. I like him in movies. So yeah, I give it a go. Though I didn't think it was as funny as I thought it would be.
Yeah,
So.
I laughed out loud, but it also just like my wife and I were just Christy and I were kind of just thinking like, oh my gosh, is this what kids are like nowadays? Because
Yeah.
you know, obviously raising a child, it's just like, holy crap, am I gonna have to deal with this? Like, am I gonna have to be John Cena? Like,
John, no, you can't see me. Oh, sorry.
no butt chugging.
No butt. That part right there was the funniest part. So okay, so let's just jump into maybe the last month. It feels like it's been a month, but
it's
like
been a solid month.
yeah. So Avengers: Infinity War. I've already talked about it a few times.
Gotta freaking
Kelly,
go.
gotta go. What I love hearing from Kelly is because he's not entrenched in this like myself is.
No.
What was your thought going into it, and what did you feel about the movie?
My thought and expectation was quite high just because this is everybody. This is everybody doing everything. And
This is like 18 movies building up to.
I saw the here's the thing. I saw the funniest meme. It was like everybody in the car on the ride home from Infinity War, and it was just dudes sitting in a car going like looking off into space and just looking at each other and then going like, you know, just had this look. And it made me laugh, and then I finally got it once I saw it. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, yeah, I loved everything about it, and especially they don't leave you on a high note. Obviously,
No, not at all.
You're kind of like, "Holy crap! What just happened?" And which is great, but it also makes me mad because now I have to wait like 2 years to find out what the hell happened.
it's a year. It's only a year.
Okay.
It's less than right now. It's less than a year.
Really?
It's like 11 months.
Okay.
Yeah, they filmed it back to back. That's good to go, dude.
Well, I thought Captain Marvel
Yeah.
wasn't coming out till next year.
No, it comes out till I think it comes out next April, and then Infinity War comes out after that. So it's I think it comes out in March.
I'll say this, so they'll do like March.
Yeah,
April,
but so
May or
you
something
know,
like that.
Captain Marvel is a flashback movie. It's in the 90s.
Yeah.
So
but,
it has nothing
But doesn't
to do.
she have something to do with Infinity War?
Yeah.
right?
So spoilers. Like at the end of Infinity War, remember Samuel Jackson
right.
busts out
That's
his like
where.
pager.
Yeah. And there was
He's
that
got the
symbol.
Nokia flip.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, so I mean, he's probably sending out some type of a beacon to her, and so she's like a big deal. So she'll probably be in Avengers 4.
That would be my guess.
I'm sure at the end of her movie, there's going to be some type of like,
Foreshadowing.
yeah, oh, I'm going to roll up, girl.
Okay.
Come on.
Cool.
So
But
yeah,
I gotta freaking go. I loved everything about it. The.
were you shocked at all at some of it? Were you like,
Oh
man.
yeah. The
What
end.
shocked you? What was your biggest shock?
The end. Everybody just freaking dissolving. I was like, what?
Do you feel like they're gone forever?
No, because of you obviously saw Thanos using the time stone to just throw things back and then do stuff. So I'd imagine they could probably do something with that or utilize it in somehow, some way to bring people back, but at the same time get rid of Thanos. But
Yeah. So my oldest boy.
you probably already know what happens. So
Well, I mean this is, remember, it's inspired by comics. It's not beat
Not
for beat
true
the
to
comics.
it.
The only
Okay.
thing that I called, like, I remember the day before it came out, I was talking with like Fredo about this stuff, and I was like, I think it's gonna end with Thanos snapping his fingers. Now I was pretty much right there a little bit, you know. It wasn't the last thing, but you know.
pretty close.
And then I did say I would love to, and I don't have any inside track on any of this, you know. I was just guessing, and I said, dude, no, we need to see the Red Skull again. And when he showed up in the movie, that was probably the biggest surprise to me.
The who?
The Red Skull from freaking
Yeah.
Captain America. Remember Captain America, the first Avenger? He fights the red Nazi Hydra guy, the guy who starts Hydra.
Yeah.
He's like one of the better villains.
Right.
And we don't see him anymore. Obviously, you know, he hasn't been around. And like once he was there, when he had access to the Soul Stone, like with Gamora and stuff, I was like, that was genuinely like the biggest surprise in the movie for me.
He was the
The guy in the shroud. And
Okay.
everything. Yeah, it was a
Okay.
Red Skull.
Well, yeah.
It's like, oh,
you know what? I've
yeah.
literally seen I've only seen the first Captain America once.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably where I knew. Christy even knew it more than I did. She's like, "Was that the guy from the first Captain America?" I was like, "Right."
Remember, he got sucked into the stone at the end of that movie.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyways,
All right.
yeah. So there's some
have
things
to-
going on.
I'll have to revisit.
Yes,
When-
that was
when-
genuinely like, what? For me, that was the biggest surprise in the movie.
Yeah.
Because I did not know, and I was like, I've never been excited about Nazis or evil super guys like that before, and I was
Yeah.
like, freaking the Red Skull, dude! Like, I want him to come back so not Superman, so Captain America can punch him in the face.
I just had to say, like, the most heartbreaking dissolve was freaking Spider-Man.
Yeah, dude.
Crushed me as a dad. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because he's such a young kid. He was
Yeah.
like he looks at Tony Stark like he was his dad.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
Oh man.
I don't want to go. Why? So my son, who, like, he brought his 2 favorite action figures to the movies.
Did he cry?
Oh, dude. No, he didn't cry, but he was like, Dad. He was like, what? He's holding, like, Black Panther and Spider-Man in his hand, and he turns to me, he's like, Dad, are they really gone? And, like, I don't have the heart to tell him no.
Oh.
I don't have the heart to tell him, like,
Yeah,
like,
they're pretty dead.
and play with them, because one of the complaints that I saw was, well, we all know they're coming back. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I get that. Like, they're making a Spider-Man. They're not going to... Black Panther ain't dead. The movie made like $1 billion. Like, I get that. But when you're watching a movie, it's how everyone is experiencing it. Yeah, there's like the viewer experience, like, oh, those characters I love. And it worked for my kid. It probably worked for other, people who went to go see the movie who don't know all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dang, Black Panther's dead. Oh, man, Spider-Man's dead. Bucky's dead and all this stuff. But it's how the characters interpret it, too. Like you still feel the moment that Tony Stark's feeling. Like, even though we know these cats are all going to come back in the next one, probably. But you have to experience
not everybody.
Well,
I don't know if Gamora's going to come back.
Yeah. Oh, man, that was a hard one for me.
Now, okay, total sidebar.
Yeah.
I saw Josh Brolin
Yeah.
posted something in his timeline that James Gunn had posted. It was like a movie poster. I don't know if it was like a fan thing, but it said "On the Shoulders of Giants" or something like that, and it was Thanos with Gamora on his shoulders, but she was like a little girl.
Yeah.
So is that going to be a thing? Is that a thing?
I don't know, man. It might be probably a fan poster.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not doing any marketing for it.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, dude, that'd be a, like, interesting, like, backstory.
I wonder
/ movie
if she's there with him in the Soul Stone or something. Who knows, man? There's a part of me that, like, I hope she comes back because I like Gamora, but there's a part of me like, well, she needs to stay dead because that was the sacrifice, that was part of the story.
Right.
But it's really hard for me to, like, oh dang, like, is she gonna be in the next Guardians movie? And that changes a lot of the dynamic. Also, I'm like, how did she get to, like, not caring so much for Peter Quill to, like, I love you? So I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some story beats we're missing. But
Plus, I want to punch. Why do I want to punch Benicio del Toro in every movie he's been in the last year?
I don't know, man. Like, I like him.
I want to
didn't
punch
care.
him in Avengers, and I wanted to punch him in Star Wars. I'm like, really, man?
I didn't hate him in Star Wars. I just didn't get enough of him in Star Wars for me to, like, think he was a big deal. They built him up like, oh, Benicio del Toro's gonna be in the movie.
Okay, so
all right.
Another sidebar / revisit.
I love revisits.
Is I've been watching episode 8, like, when I start going to sleep and stuff, and I totally understand and see some of your arguments that I didn't see in our previous episode and review.
Okay,
like, I get it. It definitely was not the strongest by any means of but I don't think it's like, oh my gosh, this should be removed from the from the Star Wars universe. It wasn't that awful. Like,
I don't think it was a bad movie. I just felt like there was things in it that I mean, there's choices I wouldn't have made, but okay, like, I don't own Star Wars and I have to consume it as everybody else does, right? But it definitely had, they definitely took risks. It wasn't, I didn't walk away from it going, oh, I knew that was going to happen. Right. So I was surprised at some of it. And the more I think about it, I'm like, okay, that was cool. It was more, my issues were more so some of the comedy beats and then some of the character things with Kylo Ren. But other than that, I'm fine. And then also Supreme Emperor Snoke. I'm like, why even have him in this movie if he's just going to be some dude you kill in this one? Like, why was he such a big deal, a mystery? Right. like enigma in this first one. Anyways, we're getting too far into the Star Wars deal.
Well, I was gonna say we can transition into Solo.
We can't transition yet though.
Why?
We gotta finish our Infinity War.
I gave it a gotta go.
Okay.
I thought it was awesome.
Okay, I give it I feel like I'm at a gotta go with it. I'm trying to remember what I rated it because we did do it on the comic show. Like we had a full on like combo on it, and I feel like
AKA that's the Let's Go comic show, also on the Let's Go podcast network.
Hey, there you go.
Available wherever you get podcasts.
Yeah, there you go. And I think I gave it a gotta go, and I think I'm still there. It had a whole lot of heart to it and a whole lot of weight, and I saw it twice, man, and the second time was even better.
I want to see it a second time.
Yeah, it really
had everything.
It paid off really well. I mean,
it had action, it had humor, it had even ups and downs. You know, it even had sadness, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, you can critique it and find weak points. I have a few things. If I was going to critique, my biggest thing is like, Doctor Strange, why didn't you just like make a portal and take everybody back to Earth?
Yeah, I was really peeved why he weaned out, but
I feel like
I'm sure it has.
I've had people say like, well, he can't because he couldn't do that because he doesn't know how. You have to know how to get there to make it happen. I'm like, okay, or you have to know where it is, and like I live on Earth. I know that, okay, if I make a portal, I can send somebody to China because I know it exists. I know how to make me think about it on a map.
Right.
So I can do that. But he can't go, I don't know where the heck we're at. Like,
right.
You can't just make a portal. So I'll buy that, but they at least should have said something. Tony should have been like, why don't you portal us there? He's like, I don't know where the heck we're at. I can't just do that. We'll end up dead. Problem solved. I'm okay. But since they didn't mention it, kind of like makes me... Like, I always go back, well, why didn't Doctor Strange just portal those fools out of there? Anyways,
right.
Other than that...
But that's kind of nitpicky.
Again, the movie's good. Like, if I have to find a critique, it's a nitpick. And so that's what I'm trying to say. I really like the movie.
Okay.
And it's a gotta go. So
you
go. Okay, so before we get to Solo, we have to get to Deadpool. Because that came next. So,
okay.
Deadpool 2 just came out last week. And I feel
Was that only last week?
Yeah,
Holy crap.
I know, but it feels like it's been like a month. And so, what were your thoughts, man?
I don't know where to rate it yet, but I'll put it on par with the first, maybe slightly under the first.
Really? Okay.
I feel like the humor came through a lot more in the first one.
Okay.
As opposed to this one. I also don't remember. I need to see it again probably and pay more attention, but I don't remember. I feel like I remembered a lot more fourth wall breaks from the first one than I do this one.
Okay. Not
that bothers me at all. But I loved it. I thought it was great. I'm gonna at least a let's go, probably a let's go and a half. Another solid movie. I'm not gonna rate it a gotta go, but it was hilarious. I find it hilarious that Josh Brolin is both Thanos and Cable, and I found it even more hilarious that they referenced it. Yeah, it's like, okay, Thanos, just like, or
they did
who
that
are
in the trailer.
you,
Did you
Thanos?
see that? You didn't see that in the trailer?
No, I must have missed it in the trailer.
Man.
But yeah, the X Force or X Squad or whatever, X Force. that part was hilarious, and the Brad Pitt cameo was the hilarious one.
Yeah. I like this movie. I thought it was fun. I actually think I liked it more than the last one.
Really?
Yeah, okay. There's parts. The last one I was like, okay. I mean, I'm not a huge Deadpool fan. I feel like the joke wears thin after a while. But this one I actually thought was pretty funny. I love the X-Force thing because I didn't see that coming. I thought it was going to be a team up movie.
Yeah.
They were gonna because they've been rumoring like, oh, we're gonna make an X-Force movie. So the fact that, again, spoilers, guys, the fact that everyone kind of ate it in the movie, it was surprising, especially because in the trailers they had scenes of like Shatterstar, like straight up, like using some swords and having some, handling some business, and so it was interesting that that happened. I really like Domino in the movie. So
that was the lucky girl, right?
That was Zazie Beetz. I think her power was cool. I like how it played out. I hope that we see more of her somewhere. They'll probably end up doing a X-Force movie for sure. And so I don't know. I wonder if Terry Crews will be a part. Again, him getting taken out. I didn't think he was dead. It took Shatterstar getting hit up by the helicopter made me think, oh dang, Terry Crews is dead too. They're all dead. Yeah. And then when freaking what's his face? When what's his name? Zeitgeist when he like gets caught up in the chipper.
Yeah.
And then that guy who runs over to save him? Just the regular guy.
Ron or Paul or
Paul. Yeah,
whatever.
Paul. I was like, oh, he's gonna get spit on.
I forget his name, yeah.
And then he got spit on, dude. And so, yeah. No, it was Peter.
Peter, that's
yeah.
right.
So that was funny. So a lot of surprises, a lot of fun. I think that I like when he has his moments with Vanessa. Like, I think it's kind of like he's able to be a little less Deadpool-y. Because when he's Deadpool, he's straight up a cartoon.
Yeah.
Puts on a suit and he's, it's almost like the Spider-Man situation.
All jokes all the time.
Oh,
action.
yeah. When he's a little more vulnerable when he's with her.
Brings that human characteristic
Yeah.
back.
He still has his personality, but
Yeah.
I like those parts. And I actually was like, I like the part of her saying, like, what did she tell him? Like, to find your heart, or your heart's not right.
Your heart's not in the right place.
Yeah, your heart's not in the right place. And I like that. I like him trying to figure out, like, what do I need to do? And so, and then, I liked him, and I like Fire Fist, like, him trying to, like, try to help him. Like, it was very Terminator 2. I shared that with Matt Ritchie. It was a very Terminator 2 feeling thing. Like, we got to stop this kid in the past. Robot-y guy from the future coming.
Okay.
The only thing that I felt like was lame was Cable at the end going, well, I'm going to stay here now. Like, I realized they couldn't kill Deadpool at the end.
Yeah.
They had a whole bunch of different ways they could have wrote themselves out of that. But it would have been... Like, I thought the whole point was Cable was supposed to go back and see his family.
Right.
And now, like, this guy who's been annoying him the whole movie, well, I'm going to stick around.
Now I'm going to stick around and hang out with you now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. I could see that being a somewhat cheesy aspect of it, but I enjoyed it. It was definitely good.
Yeah. It was a fun movie. I mean...
Don't not go.
Yeah, don't not go. It's for me, it's a let's go.
Oh, yeah,
It's a really fun movie. Don't take the kids, but... Deadpool 2 was fun.
Obviously. People probably still will, though.
Oh, yeah, they will, because people are dumb. But, yeah, I hope that we get to see a sequel, and I hope we see more X-Force. And I hope that, like, Terry Crews and Zazie Beetz and maybe Brad Pitt will show up again. Brad Pitt can be Vanisher.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's go, man. Deadpool 2.
For sure.
So we're hitting up all these movies now, finally.
Let's go and a half, maybe.
Let's go and a half?
Probably, yeah. I'll say a half.
Kelly is
I'll give it a half.
He loves his halves, dude.
I'm sorry.
Let him get a half.
Dude,
one sandwich. Can I get a half
nothing's
of a sandwich?
well, it's not, what kind of sandwich ain't too fattening?
Yeah, hey,
a half a
give me
sandwich.
I like. Oh, going back though, did you think some of the effects looked weird? I talked to Matt about this a little bit. Like Cable, and then not Cable. Cable looked great. Colossus. Here was my point. I think Colossus and Juggernaut look cool. I feel like they're like the CGI on them looked a little weird, but I think it's supposed to. I feel like that's the style that they're going for. They're not going for completely slick.
Yeah.
On some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm articulating it well. I just feel like it's supposed to not look.
I got
100%.
it. I got it. I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I thought both of them looked rad.
Juggernaut was the one with the weird helmet, right?
Yeah,
He
the
was
big guy
one
that they're like, oh, like you can't, like as a comic book guy, I knew they were kind of alluding like, oh, he's the biggest. He's like, he's the worst of them. I'm like, oh, dang, it's gonna be freaking Juggernaut, I bet. And then there it was.
All right.
He was in X-Men 3. They had a guy. I'm the Juggernaut. That guy.
Oh, dude, the end parts on Deadpool were hilarious.
Oh yeah, right. Like him, like. So people said like, oh, you got to stay because they're gonna do a whole bunch of more like X-Force like cameos, and there was none. We stayed to the very end.
Yeah. I didn't.
But him shooting himself,
Yeah,
like,
him shooting himself, the Green
welcome to
Lantern.
the big time.
Welcome to the big. He's like, you're welcome, Canada. And then when the X-Men one was like, just cleaning up the timeline.
Yeah. Oh gosh, dude. Yeah.
Too
Wolverine.
good.
The Wolverine Origins was the worst, dude. That was a terrible movie, dude. That was a terrible movie. He should have like cleaned up the CGI claws too while he was at it. So, all right. So let's get to Solo. Just came out this weekend. Kelly, what was your thoughts going into seeing the Solo movie?
Sorry, I was in the middle of yawning. I'm just tired.
Well, that's why I was talking. So
But
people wouldn't
it's
know.
totally not. It's not Justin. It's probably the combination of beer and tired.
beer and tired.
However, I'm probably going to be the odd man out in saying Solo's a gotta go.
Okay. Wow.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I loved it. for so many different reasons. I guess if I had to pick a gripe, it would have been maybe dig a little further back into childhood.
Okay.
If we're talking like quote unquote origin story.
Yeah.
However, I feel we got enough to know kind of where he came from and where he's going to end up in the actual Star Wars flicks.
Yeah.
Loved Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian.
Did you see this? You didn't see it. It was on Twitter, man. People like talking about like people figuring out like Childish Gambino and Donald Glover are the same. Like people didn't know. And so like there's this whole thread of people like freaking out. I'm like, what? They're the same person.
What? People are retarded.
People
Anyways.
are dumb, dude. Yeah. But,
Sorry, I'm not supposed to use the retarded. It's not PC
it's
anymore.
not, but it's accurate for some of these people, man. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
It just made me laugh.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Loved him as Lando.
Dude, he was great as Lando.
I feel like, yeah, even just not even before he was even on screen, you could hear him talking.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, he's got the Billy D voice down.
Yeah,
like,
he definitely had the cadence.
like crazy.
Yeah, he had that smoothness.
Crazy good. I liked Paul Bettany's character.
Yeah.
I
Dryden.
Yeah, Dryden.
Dryden Voss.
Jordan Voss. He was really kind of scary. Like he was crazy. Like
Yeah, I thought he was a good villain.
He had those moments of absolute clarity and just confidence and being sincere, and then like immediately switches to crazy, and you're like, whoa, all right, okay, I'm not messing with this guy.
Yeah. He was
So
great.
it's cool.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed the flick. I loved the soundtrack, the score. There
was
like
great.
Those little tinges of actual Star Wars, like you hear like the little progression at certain points, and you're like, oh yeah.
I thought
okay.
the music was great. I thought considering they fired the directors on this movie and Ron Howard came in and remade everything basically.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people remember that, or if that's even why maybe some people stayed away. Like, oh man, there was issues. I think what they accomplished was really good. I put some stuff out on Facebook and Twitter and stuff that kind of like explain like I like the movie. I just feel like it's just there. It just exists, is what I say. It exists. It doesn't swing the pendulum anywhere. It just kind of it fills in some gaps that we kind of already knew. Like you knew he was going to do the Kessel Run, right? You knew there was going to be this weird altercation with him and Lando.
That's what was cool about it, though.
Yeah, I don't know if it's not cool. I think not the hard part, but the parts for me when it kept winking and go, when what was her name?
Isn't that the point of an origin story, to kind of say like,
yeah, but
these things happened in the
It
past,
was like,
but this is now you get to catch up.
like
on,
Kira's with
this.
them and she's like, I need to tell you what you are, and she's like, a hero, and he's like, He's like, nah. And it was kind of like heavy-handed in the sense, like, we all know he's going to, like, come in and save the day at the end, but the whole point of, like, A New Hope is him, like, saying, that's not who I am, kid, and he takes off. And, I almost wish he was more of, like, a shady smuggler more, He was in it to, like, for self-fulfillment in here, but there was too much hinting of, like, he's just he's a good dude with, or he's a thief with a heart of gold type of thing. And I think we're getting there too soon. Like the whole him joining up with the rebels is what turns him,
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, well, he's already had this heroic turn. That was my only thing. I thought everything else was great. You know what? Like in episode 8, I hated Canto Bight, that whole casino planet.
Okay.
I thought it looked like crap. It looked awful. It felt very weird. Didn't feel like Star Wars to me. This whole movie felt like Star Wars to me. Everything about it felt real. It felt like it was part of the universe. That was even the humor, everything fit. Didn't feel like it was off.
Right.
And I bring up Canto Bight because when they're at the party where that lady's singing and stuff, where they first meet, where they first meet Dryden and stuff, that felt very Star Warsy to me. Like it felt like, oh, this is a high class Star Wars party.
It felt like
it felt authentic, right?
It felt like I'm so drawing a blank. The beginning of Jedi, I think. When
when they're in the I know what you're talking- where the Max Rebo band
dunes,
is.
and they're in the dunes, and
Yeah.
they were gonna push Luke into the
Yeah,
Sarlacc
but
pit.
it felt like the high class version of that, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
felt
yeah,
like
yeah.
okay, this is what the fancy people would
Yeah.
enjoy, right? So it had roots into the Star Wars lore that I loved. So if I was gonna like say my negative stuff was just the overall story. Like I love the heist. The heist scene was cool. It kind of got bogged down in the middle, I think, is where a lot of it went down. I thought the whole crew was great, like all the actors, like what's this guy, Alden Ehrenreich, whatever his name is, Alden Ehrenreich, the guy who's playing Han Solo. I thought he was good.
Okay, yeah,
There's a few points where I wish his voice was a little deeper. It
yeah.
wasn't so high, but you know, what are you gonna do? He felt like a Han Solo to me. So it wasn't like a
Maybe maybe they'll do a second Han Solo flick, and he'll pick up smoking or something.
well, here's the thing, like, they announced that they're making a Boba Fett movie now. Like last week.
I looked that up too, and I was like,
So-
what other Star Wars movies are coming out? And that'll be-
Obi-Wan movie, the one everyone wants is Obi-Wan. Because Ewan McGregor even said he would do it. But
I thought that's on the docket, isn't it?
no. The only thing on the docket right now is episode 9, which they're making.
Right.
And Boba Fett is what they announced. So,
Why would you do?
you know, what's his face who did Logan. So
That seems so odd, though. That seems like the oddest character to pick. Like,
people like, because Boba Fett's like he's cool. He looks cool. He's the one character that people like super dig, even though he doesn't say all much. He just has a cool look to him. So
Yeah.
that's why they went into his backstory in Clone Wars. You know, they
Alright.
tried to like give you some like you know, understanding of who he is and his dad Django. And anyways,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Han Solo though, the whole movie overall, I thought it was a good movie. I will reiterate, the cast is great. Like the sets and the world they created is great. The score is fantastic. The story just made me feel like I kind of
Missed
already knew
at some
this.
points,
I
you
feel like
feel?
I kind of already knew. It's like when someone's telling you a story and they're telling you everything, and you're like, yeah, man, I already know where this goes. You don't gotta tell me everything.
I'm kind of looking at it as I always try and go into things as in the layman's term, like just going in, knowing what I know as far as like having seen the other ones, but not digging too deep into like, yeah, I already know that, like, duh, or like, you know, but just having seen the movies and not done any investigation beyond that, or seeing any kind of cartoons or whatever, any of
Yeah.
that stuff.
I haven't seen any of the cartoons.
I just liked how they did tie everything together. Like, I see your point as to say, yeah, I already know that, but I also see like just the curious wonder part of, oh yeah, okay, I remember. Oh yeah, they're gonna do the Kessel Run. Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
Which was cool, but and then the whole thing was pretty awesome, and I like seeing how the ship kind of got like, you went
Beat
from this
up.
really clean ship until like, you know, even that escape pod in the front,
Yeah, the
like,
middle, yeah.
like what's up with that? So a lot of that was cool. Like spoilers right here, like turn this off right now if you don't want to be totally spoiled. When Darth Maul shows up, that was cool. So
yeah,
it just wasn't. So at that point was where I was lost, because I'm like, okay, so Phantom Menace is way before this. Is like 30 years before this or whatever. So what the heck? And so I had to find out through some friends that he comes back and he's got like cyborg legs and stuff. And so there's a whole, like, he's part of the Rebels cartoon or something like that. And so all that stuff counts. So like, I don't know, I have to find out. So I'm like, wait, how did Darth Maul roll up?
Oh,
So Darth Maul can definitely, maybe he's still around and he can show up in another Star Wars movie. I don't know.
yeah.
So maybe he'll be in the Boba Fett movie. I don't know. Maybe Han Solo shows up in the Boba Fett movie.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not a Boba Fett movie. Maybe it's a like criminal underworld, like bounty hunter movie.
Yeah. They left it pretty open to probably, I would say they left enough room for a Solo 2 to kind of close the gap between that and A New Hope, at least.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're going to do that. I mean,
yeah,
this movie didn't make
I don't
enough.
I'm sure they didn't, and I'm sure they like no one cares that much, but I feel like they could squeeze it out and it would still be entertaining.
I mean, I'd go see it. I'll watch any Star Wars movie. Like, I think
I like the fact that Rogue ends right when New Hope begins.
Oh man, I love Rogue One.
Like, dude, yeah. The more and more I watch Rogue One, I'm like, this was awesome.
Rogue
like,
One's a great movie, man.
I feel like it might have not gotten the play it should have.
It did really well.
It did well.
It did well. I it's a war movie for sure, and it ends on a downer,
But sometimes those are the best.
Yeah, it definitely, because you know where it goes and where it fits, and it's kind of like when I tell people to watch Star Wars, because there's a few people that have not watched Star Wars, and we were doing this Star Wars rewatch a few weeks back. Yeah,
like the original Star Wars.
Yeah, they haven't watched them. Like, oh, they look
what
old.
in
I'm
the
like,
living serious? What?
Yeah, and so I told them, gotta watch Rogue One, and then watch 4, 5, and 6. And then get into like 7 and 8, And so that's the new viewing order is you got to start with Rogue One. Right? For me, it is. I just,
absolutely.
1, 2, and 3.
Without
whatever.
question.
I don't want to hate on them all the time because it's kind of like that's what you do. But okay, so like before we wrap, what is a Star Wars movie you'd like to see? You kind of like, I'd like to see if maybe they build up more. But what is something you're like, would be cool? Like, what part of the lore would you like to see? If you're like a girl like Kelly, we're just throwing money out to everybody. We want you to make a Star Wars movie. What do you want it to be about?
Dang. Dang.
Yeah.
A dig, dang, do. For total sidebar, sorry. I know this is a great question.
It's a great question. Let's talk about something else.
No. I was thinking in my head when I was seeing Dryden and those marks on his face, I was like, dude, if you wrinkle him up like a raisin, he would look like the Emperor.
Oh, really?
So that kind of blew my mind for a second. I was confident that they weren't going to kill him, or maybe he didn't die, and that's his origin too. Okay. Maybe she thought she killed him because they stayed on his face a little too long when he was down. Yeah. After that chick had quote unquote killed him.
Yeah, but it's not him though, because he was in the prequels. Remember the Emperor, Palpatine.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. But I got you.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
I see, that's the thing. I've only watched 1, 2, and 3 like once each.
Really?
And that was so long ago that I don't remember. And
they're definitely worth a rewatch, but I'm telling you, Attack of the Clones was really hard to watch, dude. Like 3, like Revenge of the Sith is probably the better of them. And there's some cool parts in Phantom Menace, but yeah, dude, they're hard. It's really hard to get through.
Okay.
So
back to the original question.
What Star Wars movie would you make?
Oh, what Star Wars movie would I make? Because, yeah, I know, right? Click clock. Dang, this is a good question, and I'm really.
I'm gonna give you some time to think about it.
Yeah,
I'll talk about mine then.
Okay, you go.
I would love to do one about stormtroopers, but what they do in their off time. It could almost be a funny movie. Like, hey, I remember reading like little bit of a Star Wars comic where they kind of went into like the lives of like stormtroopers, and then I remember someone made their own fan video called Troops, and it was kind of set to the Cops theme song, and it was like, yeah, we got a domestic dispute, so we're gonna go check into this, and it was like Aunt Brew and Uncle Ben, like, and they kind of put it into the actual timeline of the movie, so they ended up like torching them. They're like, yeah, it just got out of hand, so they torched them. Like, look it up if you're on YouTube, look up. I'll probably try to put it on the show notes. If you look up Troops Star Wars, those are some pretty funny videos. Like, they did a really good job, and they insert it into like episodes 4, 5, and 6 pretty well, like the episodes. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool to see, like the everyday life of stormtroopers. What are those guys doing? What are they doing in their off time? It'd still be set in the Star Wars universe, but it'd be kind of a little more light, because kind of a fun little, sideline in the Star Wars universe.
If we're looking for light and fun. Not only stormtroopers, but R2-D2 and C-3PO origins.
We saw their origin.
Really?
Yeah, remember the freaking Anakin made them. Oh man, you gotta watch those prequels again.
Yeah, I'm a
Put
slacker.
that on top of it.
Okay.
Kelly watched the prequels, and Kelly can watch The Office.
But like a Luke and Leia
movie?
Yeah.
Like what they did after like episode 6?
No, like
grown up, like
between 3 and 4, like their upbringing becoming young adults.
That would be interesting. The chick from Stranger Things said she wants to play Princess Leia. I think she could pull off a young Princess Leia.
I see
don't
it.
know. You think that? What's her name? Ricky Bobby Brown, or whatever her name is, something like that. That's her name, dude. I swear that's her name.
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby. Hey,
Ricky Bobby Brown.
something Bobby Brown. It's something like that. She said
No,
that
I know what you're saying.
she's made a comment and said that she'd be down to play Princess Leia.
Well, yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see something about their upbringing because obviously they weren't together.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby Brown.
Ricky Bobby Brown.
So that would be quite interesting to me. And I mean, obviously, if
To
they're
see
already,
her path to like royalty and hanging out with.
well, yeah, and then his path to like
Smits.
living with his aunt and uncle and like, I don't know. You don't get too much
Yeah.
backstory between 3 and 4.
But is it going to be a thing like Solo where it's like, they're going to say like, you're going to be a princess one day? Or, I mean, is there going to be stuff like that? Or,
I don't know, but you just asked, so I'm
Yeah.
like,
No, I got you.
That would be an interesting.
I'm just processing.
Those are two characters to which are obviously detrimental to the Star Wars legacy.
yeah.
To see that gap of time because we've seen them from Episode 4 to now,
Yeah.
so just filling in that gap. It's like we've seen Han Solo from 4 to 7.
Yeah.
So now we got to fill in a little more. Obviously, we didn't go back to like infancy or anything, but
Yeah.
like teenage years to now.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to do that with them. Obviously, you said Obi-Wan was probably on a being plugged as being another thing.
My friend Rick is all about an Obi-Wan movie. And Ewan McGregor has said, yeah, let's do it.
That'd be great.
And he was at the Solo premiere, so it was kind of like, are they teasing us? Are
they messing with us, man?
Are they putting something out there right now? No.
So that'd be cool. I guess I do need to watch the 1, 2, 3 again, but that would be my as of right now because
No
I mean
rush on those.
we kind of saw Chewbacca. that was the kind of sad part, but also humorous part where he's like, "You're 100 and
Yeah.
you look great." But then also when he found all the other Wookiees in that mine, that was
Yeah.
like that was great, but heartbreaking at the same time. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh man."
Yeah, I like Chewbacca in the movie. Like, I mean, the more I talk about it, they're like, oh, I want to watch Solo again. Maybe it'll change my thoughts. But again, I didn't hate the movie.
Right.
So my rating for it is a go.
A go? Just a go?
Yeah, it's not a let's go.
What?
I can't just give out like great scores, man. I gotta have, and I've been thinking about it. I think and go's not bad. Like, hey, you should go see Solo. If someone said, yeah, you should go see Solo, would you see it?
Well, yeah.
Okay. So
I
I'm
wanted
telling
to
you,
see
it's
it.
a go. Meaning, I thought it's worth seeing. It's a good movie, but it didn't like. When I left it, I wasn't like, oh man, this is so. That I was asking questions. I was like, what'd you guys think about that?
Yeah.
And so I was pondering it. I'm still pondering mode. So maybe another viewing may bump it up again for me. I mean, I'm gonna own it when it comes out. I'll buy it. I liked all the characters, but to me, it's like just a movie. Like you think about. Did you see Justice League yet? You're like, I don't know if I saw it.
I you know what? We watched it, and it was just one of those nights where I made it through about half an hour and fell asleep.
Yeah.
And then woke up, and then fell asleep again,
Yeah.
and then woke up.
Well,
and
my point being, I feel like that movie's just a go now. Like as as much as I've seen it and rewatched it, I'm like, didn't have that epic feel that I wanted in a Justice League movie. It was just a movie. My kids love it, and so sometimes I watch it through their like prism, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is fun. But then I sit back, and I'm like, yeah, but this and this and this, and they cut it, and the drama and all that
honestly, like, yeah, okay. So if I had to rate Justice League as remembering what I saw when I watched it the one time, it would have definitely been a go. I wasn't like drawn in.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying with Solo. It's a go based on my experience, and I was going in on that movie way more pumped for it than even Episode 8. I was like, dude, Han Solo looks rad. Like the trailers got me pumped. The music and everything about it had me like, why are people like on the fence with this?
Oh, maybe that was me. That's why I gave it such a high rating because I went in with no expectations.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know what to expect. I saw a couple previews. I was like, yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah.
Like I think I was almost more lackluster with the previews because I was like, that'll be cool, and I'm definitely gonna go see it because it's a Star Wars movie. So I came out like way above expectation. So maybe that's the difference.
And let me put this out there. one thing, because I do want to watch it one more time. There was a few times it was getting distracting because we had like 6 little boys there with us. You know, and
I can see that.
They're getting up. Hey, Dad, can I get this? Dad, I gotta go potty. I'm like, go sit down. So there was a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
And so that could have taken away from my experience. But I liked, I like the movie. I didn't love the movie, so therefore it's a go.
Okay. Fair enough.
So that's where I'm at.
Fair enough.
Nacho cheese.
I'm gonna say gotta go just because I know I'm going high.
All right.
I'm shooting high. I loved everything about it. I wasn't being super nitpicky about anything. The score was awesome. We saw it in the Dolby Atmos, like the where everything's around you.
Yeah, you love that.
Dude, the sound was so good. The sound design, the just everything about it. Characters, I didn't have any beef like why did they put that guy in there or why was that in there? And I didn't remember that Ron Howard had been tasked with doing it until I saw his brother.
Oh yeah, the Clint
part.
Howard part.
I was like, oh yeah, you got to have that.
I always love seeing him in there.
Yeah. And that's what made me remember. I was like, oh crap, Ron Howard did this one, but it was great. I liked everything about it.
Yeah.
If I had to say Rogue One was like definitely a gotta go,
Yeah.
then maybe I'll bump it down half a notch and I'll stick with my total let's go and a half guy. But I'm still gonna say gotta go.
Yeah.
I go into it with no expectations and come out pleased.
Okay.
That's how I went in, and it was awesome.
I mean, man, if you had to make a ranking, like a quick ranking, where would you put it in your Star Wars films?
Oh balls, yeah. So where are we at total? We have
Star Wars movies.
11 movies now. 10.
10. Yeah.
8, and then Rogue, and then
Yeah. There's 10 of them.
Solo.
Has 10 movies. You don't have to get specific. You can go it's top 5, or you can say it's like top this.
It's probably cracked the top 5.
Really?
It's probably sitting right around 5.
Wow. Okay. I'm like Jedi Empire, Rogue One, and then Force Awakens, then Solo. I think Solo's better than.
You're bumping New Hope like way down. The bottom?
I think New Hope's pretty dorky. I'm just being honest.
It's dorky, but
It definitely has
without going super Lucas on it and like redoing it to the point of turdiness.
Yeah.
Like it's the original. Like,
yeah.
Why would you throw it down that low?
I'm just telling you, man.
All right.
That's how I feel now.
All right.
That's how I feel.
I respect everyone's opinion.
Yeah, and my bottom is like the prequels are all like in the same kind of thing, and
obviously.
then it's like Episode 8, then New Hope, then probably Force Awakens, Solo, and then we'll go up. I'll have to make a list because that list will change every day. So.
Okay.
So there you go. All right, man. You feel good about that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, dude. All
Yeah.
right. So we're gonna wrap this up, dude.
Yeah.
We made it happen.
I need to talk to. Yeah, we made it happen, but I need to catch.
Kelly has way more questions now.
No, I need to catch everybody up on music stuff, but I need to prepare myself a little bit better for that.
We'll be back in a couple weeks.
We'll
do that. We'll do it again. We'll do some music.
We will do some music.
There's a lot of junk going on. So
yeah, because movies now I think are falling off a little, and then
we got Ant-Man in July.
Yeah,
and then there's some other stuff coming out. I have the Movie Pass now, so I'm trying to see more. Like I can tell, but just with the Movie Pass, I'm like, okay, well, I've paid all my movies off for like the year, so I'm gonna go watch whatever I want.
Yeah, I need to get one of those.
It's
it was embarrassing because I got frustrated because I knew that they tried to step it back to one movie a week or something.
Yeah, they had a weird promo going on,
and then
of like
nope.
It was like only $4 a month or something like that. It was like $7, only $4 a month. So I jumped on with a sale in March. They had a sale for $7.99 a month.
What?
Yeah, and I jumped on it and did it, and everyone's like, "You don't get your ticket, your like card for a month." I got like the next week.
Huh.
So I was like, "This is a good deal." And so
they've cleaned it up. I need to get one.
They did change the thing of being able to watch your movie anytime you want. Like Solo, I can't go watch Solo again now. I have to pay for it. Yeah, I can't just go watch Solo.
Oh well,
that sucks. Like multiple times. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I went and saw it, but I would like to see it again. I don't want to pay. I mean, I've already paid for my movies. Anyways, there's tons of other movies to go watch, and I want to go I want to see all of the movies.
Indeed, all of the
You know,
movies.
I could have went to the movies tonight, but I hang out with you. I
Oh.
love you, man.
I love you too.
I love you, dude. So there you go. All right, so Kelly, if people wanted to like figure out more about you, how could they find you
More about me, you can
on
find
socials?
me. I'm just on the Instagrams, Kelly_makes_music.
Yeah.
Don't hit me up on Facebook or any of that other garbage. I'm literally I'm pretty sure Instagram is my only social outlet.
There you go.
It's just becoming annoying.
Yeah. Kelly wants nothing to do with the outside world except this podcast.
Yep.
There you go. So you can find me on Twitter at J_rocker. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook as well, but Twitter is where I primarily do my
You're doing the tweets.
socialing for shows and stuff like that. So you can do that. You can go to the website at www.letsgocast.com where you can find this show and Let's Go Comic Show and the Start Today podcast. So check those shows out.
What?
You can also click on the merch tab and buy some merch. Say, hey, I want a Let's Go podcast t-shirt. And I'm going to wear that to the beach. I'm going to cut the sleeves off. Or you can just buy a tank top. You can buy a sticker, buy a pillow,
One of those fly buttons.
a fly button, a tote bag. You can do anything.
We have tote bags?
No, you can get a tote bag if you want.
Dang, son.
If you go to the merchandise tab, you can order anything you want.
Holy moly.
You can get a pillow.
A pillow?
You can get a pillow. Whatever you want. I mean, if you want to,
Let's go to sleep.
Let's go to sleep. Take
Damn.
that pillow. Put it on the small of your back while you're driving on that long summer trip.
Oh,
so you can
yeah.
do that. Or if you're like super like, hey, I wanna pitch in every month. So if you can go to patreon.com/letsgocast, you can do that and join and give us a little bit of dollars, and then that'll
What's
help
the
pay for the show. Slash. Did I say slash? Hit that slash Let's Go Cast. And then here's the thing: if you're on a budget, here's where I would ask you to really step it up.
Ooh.
Go to the iTunes podcast store and look us up and leave us some positive reviews. Leave us 5 stars, positive comment, and we will read your comment on the air.
I love words of affirmation, by the way.
Words of affirmation are good. It's good to be like, oh man, I wonder if anyone has said anything nice about the show lately. So please do that. And I know it's hard when we're not as consistent, but we're trying to change that. So
We are.
if you will do that, we will put more shows out for you, and we will read your review on the show, and it'll be a very good time for everybody involved. And then your mom will know, and she'll be really happy and proud of you that you left a review. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. So that being said, my name is Justin.
My name is Kelly.
Let's go.
I got a bite to kick that bread. Left the top, swung to the east.